You don't want to miss out on how we make this delicate little snowflake. It's Nicole here and welcome to Bochiknot Macrame, the channel where you will find everything macrame related from DIY pattern tutorials to tips and tricks videos. In this video, we are going over another Christmas ornament. This one is a simple one that you can make in under 30 minutes. So if you're looking for last minute holiday crafts, decorations, or handmade gifts to loved ones, then this pattern may be right for you. To make this delicate little snowflake, I use 2mm cord. I do recommend using 1mm or 2mm string for this pattern because it will give off that more delicate, elegant vibe. But say you only have 3mm or 4mm cord, that's totally okay. You'll just have a slightly larger and thicker snowflake. This one is beginner friendly and the majority of the pattern is made using 1-knot pattern. And that's the half hitch knot spiral. To make the pattern curve a certain way, let's get it focused. So you see here that it's curved inwards every single petal. And even the inner loops, those are all made with half hitch spirals. We'll be going over all of the basic macrame knots within this one pattern. The overhand knot, the lark's head knot, the double half hitch knot, the square knot, and of course the half hitch spiral. If you guys are a beginner and you want to brush up on your macrame knots first, I do recommend downloading our free 50 knots and settings ebook over on bochiknot.com. It's a handy little guide to have next to you while making projects so you can always refer back to it. I'll be walking you through this pattern step by step so you should be able to follow along fairly easily. If you guys enjoy videos like this, make sure you give this a big thumbs up and click that subscribe button to stay tuned to our latest tutorials. And with that said, let's jump right in. You'll need very minimal supplies for this pattern, just the 2mm macrame cord and some glue. Here's the cord I'll be using for this pattern. It's a 2mm single strand cord from our Lush line. This is a premium single strand cotton cord. It is soft, but also very, very sturdy. It actually didn't unravel at all while I was making this pattern. If you're interested in checking this product out, I will tag it in the video below. Before we jump right into the pattern, I just want to let you guys know that there will be some longer strands of cords left over. If you want to minimize the waste of the cords for the snowflakes, I recommend using 55cm long cords instead of 70cm long cords. You need to attach the handle on separately for the snowflake. To start, we're going to take our 25cm long cord and we're going to wrap it into a loop. We're going to pin this loop down, then we're going to take 12 strands of 70cm long cords and we're going to attach it onto the bottom of the loop here where it overlaps with reverse lark's head knots. So take the loop from underneath through the top and then pulling the ends through. For this particular pattern here, I've used slightly longer cords. I've already adjusted for this in the suggested cord lengths listed as 70cm, so do not worry, we will not end up with as much wastage as you see at the end of the pattern. Take all the remaining 70cm long cords and attach them onto the loop with reverse lark's head knots. Once done, this is what the pattern should look like. We're going to pull on the top left and right ends, so the anchor cord ends from underneath to shrink the little loop at the top. So we're going to pull on both ends and tighten them as much as possible. Then we're just going to leave those two shorter anchor cord ends at the back and we're going to ignore them until the very end. To start our first knotted section, separate out 4 strands of cords from anywhere around the ring. With the left 2 cords, we're going to take the far right cord as the anchor cord, and then the cord next to it to the right as a working cord, and we're going to make a half hitch knot, so over and through the left loop. Then continue repeating the half hitch knots with the same cords in the same direction until you've made a total of 6 half hitch knots. It's going to start to spiral, but try to keep them as straight as possible so that you can see the knots being made. Now with the 2 cords beside it to the right, this will form one section. We're now going to make another 6 half hitch knots, but this time in the opposite direction. So with the far right cord as the anchor cord, the cord next to it on the left as a working cord, for a half hitch knot to the left, but we're going to go over and through the right loop. So we're going to continue repeating this for a total of 6 total half hitch knots. Once we're done, you should see the pattern curve in towards each other like so. Now to finish this section off, take the far left and far right cords, ensuring that the anchor cords from the half hitch spirals are still the anchor cords for the square knots. We're going to make a square knot right here. Now repeat this pattern 5 more times all around. Once we're done making this pattern all around, we're going to head on over to our next section of the snowflake. We're going to work with 4 cords at a time again. This time, 4 cords in between 2 of the petal sections from the first row. So as you can see here, I've separated out 4 strands of cords, 2 from each petal. We're going to make a series of half hitch spirals again, but this time we're switching the anchor cords with the working cords. So the longer cord end should be on the right here on the right side, and the shorter end should be on the left. We're going above and through the right side this time for a half hitch knot using the far right cord as the working cord. Then continue this pattern all the way down so that there are 6 half hitches. Now you see the pattern curving over to the left, and the cord ends should be fairly even at the bottom now. Now we're going to repeat the same thing on the left side with the far left cord as the working cord. Take it over and through the left of the anchor cord, and then continue repeating this so that there are 6 half hitch knots. Now to close off this section, this time we're going to make sure that the pattern is curved inwards and that the working cords from the half hitches are now the anchor cords for the square knot. So as you can see here, the working cords are in the middle. The anchor cords are what we're going to use as working cords for the square knot instead this time. Once we're done, we're going to repeat this pattern again all the way around 5 more times. We are almost done with the knotted pattern. All we're going to do is add a small little V-shaped double half hitch knot pattern underneath each of the sections. So here we're going to take the far left cord as an anchor cord, the next cord to it as a working cord for a diagonal double half hitch knot to the right. Then on the right side, take the far right cord as an anchor cord, the next cord to it as a working cord for a diagonal double half hitch knot to the left. Then using the same anchor cord here, take the middle left cord as a working cord for one more diagonal double half hitch knot to the left. And now what we're going to do is repeat this small little V-shaped pattern all around for 5 more times. And now the knotted pattern is complete. You can see that there's quite a bit of excess cords left. I had originally measured the snowflake to be a little bit larger, but it ended up being a smaller snowflake that I ended up making. But that is okay because I've already adjusted for the cord lengths that you guys will use for 70 centimeters. To finish off the handle for the ornament underneath any section, we're going to take the middle 2 cords and make an overhand knot at the top. Then we're going to trim off the excess cord ends. Now to tidy up the corners of the snowflake, we're actually going to snip off the excess cord ends from all remaining cords, and we're going to glue the ends to the back of the pattern. So we're going to cut off most of the excess. We're going to maybe leave about 2 millimeters of excess left. Then using glue, we're going to glue these ends to the back of the section. Once you have cleaned up the ends, it should look really neat at the front. Now we're going to do the same thing to the rest of the corners. Once the corners are cleaned up, this is what the beautiful snowflake will look like. Now for the initial anchor cords from the beginning, from the inner side of the ring, we're just going to snip off the excess at the back. And there you have it. The snowflake is now complete. And that concludes our macrame snowflake tutorial. What did you guys think of this pattern? Let me know in the comment section below. I really like the delicate look of the snowflake, and that also it is fairly simple and it didn't take a lot of time to make. So if you need last minute decor or holiday craft ideas, this one would actually be the perfect one. If you guys are interested in more intricate, larger holiday themed projects, we are going over our second part of the Christmas theme over on the Bochiknot Macrame community on Patreon. We release macrame tutorials that are focused on mastering certain technical skills. So if you guys are interested in finding out more information, you can head on over to patreon.com/Bochiknot for more details. I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. Let me know if you guys have any questions or comments in the comment section below. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.